All right, y'all boys. We had a very productive talk before we started this episode, so we riding high on the juices. You heard me?
Yeah, man. Everybody stay tuned. We got a lot of big changes, a little bit different avenues we're gonna take to provide content to everybody. Just join the YouTube channel, join, subscribe. Everything is gonna be the Grounded Show pod.
Yes, sir. Definitely it's time to up the content some.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
People have been responding well to what we've been doing, which we appreciate. Um, like everybody tapping in and just continue to tap in. That's dope to hear. It's dope that when I see people they bring it up and they speak about things we've talked about and even sometimes give me their opinions about what we talk about. So that's super dope. And Yeah, man, we just gonna keep bringing more of this and just keep elevating it and keep taking it to the level that we know we can take it, especially with what we've been doing with it.
Facts.
And speaking of that, we had the episode last week where the Sewer King episodes, part 1 and 2. That was the last one we dropped, and that was a real dope one to do, and even a dope one to hear back. We did it a little bit different than our usual episodes, but people seem to really like what we did. That's super dope. Also, we talked about that boy Luther Vandross, and I know you seen that performance, Quincy. You went on YouTube and saw the House is Not a Home live performance. What'd you think of it?
Man. The first thing I thought about was just the fact that you don't see R&B artists, in that sense anymore. It's like now, R&B is a very different genre now. And just going back and seeing that performance, man, you can tell, like, you can see from the performance how much time and effort he put into his talent. It translated over so effortlessly, like it just was so amazing. And just the way, even the artistry and with how he was singing, what I'm saying, you could tell he was singing in a way that it was like he used the mic as a real instrument. It wasn't just I'm in front of the microphone, like, no, I'm gonna wave to the left and to the right as I record, just so you can feel what I'm doing. Like, bro, Luther
Smiling,
Vandross,
opening the
man,
eyes.
bro, come on, man. Luther Vandross was
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, when you talk about singers, man, and exactly what you said, like he had his voice down packed like it was an instrument. It's
Mm-hmm.
something that we talked about in episodes before about the Andre 3000 and Rick Rubin podcast episode. I mean, that's like an epic podcast. I listen to it every once in a while just to hear it again and catch little things that I didn't catch the first couple times because that one was super dope. And even Andre 3000 was saying like you got to just keep recording as an artist, like that's the only way you're gonna get better, just from the sense of like you're training, you know what I mean, like you're
Mm-hmm.
activating certain muscles, you're getting that muscle memory, you're able to sing better or rap better, whatever it is. If you're recording, even if you do voiceovers and things like that, you know what I'm saying, there's exercises that you do that just strengthens what you got going on. And you know what I mean, you just got to take your craft serious and work hard at it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of crazy because it kind of goes into something that we were going to talk about. Like I've been working on this new joint called Sand Falling, and that was a song. Actually, shout out to the bro Will. That's somebody that we got to have eventually on here too, man. He got a dope little story, and he just a dope dude, just like us, a go getter,
Mm-hmm.
hardworking dude. But anyway, I've been recording like crazy. Just always hitting the studio, always working on something new, and some of it comes out whack, some of it comes out okay, some of it comes out decent, some of it comes out dope. And when I was talking to Freddie yesterday, shout out to Freddie, he was even just pointing out some records that I had that I didn't even remember that I recorded. That he's like, yo, this one's dope, and this one's dope, and I'm like, bro, I'm listening to this song with you almost like it's the first time, you know what I mean? Because like when I just get in the zone when I'm recording, I don't even write down what I'm saying. Like I don't freestyle it, but I don't write it down either. You know what I mean? I sit and think a little bit. I lay down a couple lines. I think, and I just kind of, when I'm in the zone, I can kind of just hit the lines back to back to back to back to back. And, you know, it's real easy to just record something, bounce it out, keep it moving. And, you know, something that, you know, an old saying, like, you can't see the forest between the trees. Cause like, I've been feeling like I've been in this slump lately, but I haven't even looked at, like, bro, I got a folder of like 10 unreleased songs that are like super dope that they're ready to go. You know what I mean? And it's like I'm dwelling on the other 10 that I haven't, that aren't coming out dope. You know what I mean? And it was even something, like I said, like I was able to step back and really see the whole picture and say, oh, okay, I'm doing this right. I could adjust here, whatever the case is. But just the fact that, like, you can kind of get, even working hard, you can kind of get lost and not really value things the right way. You know what I mean? Like, just because you're working hard doesn't mean that you're necessarily utilizing your time and strength and everything that you're doing the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's something, you know, we kind of were working together last night while you were mixing one of your records, and
it was the Sam Fallen joint, matter of fact.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we kind of talked about, because while you were doing that, you know, I was kind of doing stuff that, like, you know, I probably should have did a long time ago with, you know, when it comes to the recording process, just, you know, getting certain plugins, looking them up and things like that. And it kind of goes back to that same point where it's like, you know, you like, for example, we always say, you know, work smarter, not harder, right? But then sometimes we kind of just fall into a cycle or into a loophole of, you know, doing things the harder way, you know.
Nah, for sure. It's like I said, sometimes we just think, oh, we're grinding, so the fact that we're grinding, like, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Like, the grind, anybody can grind. Like, anybody can do a lot of different things. You know, the person that breaks through is the one that can put it all together. You know what I mean? And the grind part, everybody could do the grind. Like I said, you just got to figure out what you're grinding for. You know, there's got to be goals, short term, long term. You know, there's been a couple things lately, even in my life, that I've been reevaluating, like, as far as like short term or long term goals with things that I'm doing. And it's stuff that's always ongoing. I'm always building, but every once in a while I got to step back and say, okay, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Because you can get kind of wrapped up in your own mind sometimes and kind of living in this world just inside your own head. And then even like the things that you're feeling and the things that you're saying to people and the way you're reacting to stuff is kind of like you're not even saying it from the right point of view. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's just not thinking logically. And you know, some people and it's major people, and I might have done this in my past, and I learned from it, just living in a reality that doesn't really exist. And you're just so convinced that this is how things should be because that's how I think things should be. And you set expectations for not only individuals but reality alone. And that's something that nobody can say anything to you at all.
Yep. And I know Quincy had a story that kind of like even just put him at a time in his life, like from a perspective, like where it changed his perspective and he started looking at things from a different way. If you want to tap on that, because that story is crazy.
Yeah, man. So growing up,
first
man,
time hearing this, I just want to. This is the first time we're hearing this. Both of us, right?
I know. I remember the story. I just from the title, you know what I mean. The title didn't remind me, but once I remembered the details, like, oh, okay, I remember now.
Yeah. So like, I'm starting kind of before it. Like, I've always been the type of person, bro. Even as a kid, man. Like, I wouldn't say I was the most like conscious black person as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always figured like you were either good or you were bad. No race, none of that stuff mattered. You know what I mean? So going to the story, basically, I was about 20, 21 at the time. I had just moved out, literally out of my mom's house, like probably a month prior. Like, that was my first job, living on my own type deal, or with my ex or whatever. And basically, I had a day, went to work, ended up getting robbed. And to kind of tell the story in the most chronological way, you know, when the situation happened, basically the robber was a guy. Like, it was obviously a guy. Even I knew it was a guy.
You haven't told us where yet.
Oh, my bad. At Wells Fargo. I was working at Wells Fargo, and actually in East Orlando, Lake on the Hill and Rouse. Basically,
Hill and Rouse.
Is it? Am I tripping? Lake Underhill.
Lake Underhill, Alafaya. That's my main.
No,
bank.
not Alafaya.
No. Oh, okay.
Go Chickasaw. Lake Underhill and Chickasaw.
Oh, Lake Underhill, Chickasaw. Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, so basically, guy comes in dressed as a woman. He comes up to the teller, passes me a note. Basically, the note says, you know, give me all the money in your drawer. I'm shooting everybody in the lobby.
Did they have a gun though? Did you see?
It basically has, you know, he has something like this. You know how people do this shit, like
so
right
that he flashed something.
He flashed something. Yeah, yeah, but he kept it low so it didn't alert anybody.
Gotcha.
So then so I'm trying to tell the guy, I'm like, because the way Wells Fargo works is like the teller doesn't have the code to get into the safe. Like, I can open my drawer, but it really ain't nothing in there but like low bills. So I'm trying to tell the guy, like, yo, I don't really have access, you know what I'm saying? Like, without making a scene. And like, he basically,
I'm not your guy, pal.
Right. So he basically pulled out, you know, the gun or whatever it was, and like he slammed it on the counter. I was like, I bet. So I started handing him the 1s, 5s, 10s, whatever I had in my drawer. I'm handing it to him. And then basically he takes it and he runs out. And I turn to everybody around me and I'm like, yo, I just got robbed, son. Like, y'all over here laughing and joking. Nobody knew.
Nobody noticed nothing. Right, wow, dude.
Yeah, bro. And so that, mind you, there's this guy, his name was Harry. He was an old, like maybe Indian, I don't know, I don't want to sound racist, but he was an old guy that basically he had worked there for like 20 years, and he's like, yeah, man, this location's never been robbed. Bro, I've been there 1 month and I get robbed.
Wow, right? Dude.
So anyways, fast forward back to the story. So cops get there, and they basically like ask me, you know, what did the guy look like? You know, does he look familiar? Blah blah blah. Ask me all these weird questions. They even fingerprinted me.
Dang.
Like, they fingerprinted me, and mind you, I'm a 20-year-old kid. I'm a little naive when it comes to the black and white stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm real naive to it, and you know, but basically now looking back, I'm like, wow, they really fingerprinted me as if I was involved, you know. And so then I guess they found out, or like, you know, somebody noticed a guy dressed as a woman in Alabama.
You got robbed and they took your fingerprints.
Bro, yes. So the cop, mind you, there's more, bro. So the cop basically comes to me. He's like, we just got word that there's a man dressed as a woman in Avalon Park. Mind you, this is before Avalon was Avalon. Like, this is when it was being built up. You know, houses were still empty, all that stuff. So they're like, we need you to come with us. Again, I'm naive. You know what I'm saying? Me today would have been like, hey, I need a lawyer or something, because, you know what I'm saying, I'm not involved. But I went with them. They had me in the back seat, right? So they drive me to the
scene. They had you like McLovin, bro.
Facts. Yo, facts. So then we get to the scene. The guy, you know, there's a guy there dressed as a woman, mad random, by the way, and it wasn't the same guy. It wasn't the same guy. It wasn't the same guy. So he pulls me out the car, mind you, pulling me out the car.
It was like a Dark Knight Joker situation,
bro,
where there's a whole bunch of guys left their house dressed like women with a task in the morning.
All the wrong people got profiled for sure.
Yo, so then basically he has me identify this guy. It wasn't the guy, but looking back now, I'm like, bro, like, what if it was? You know what I'm saying? And you pulling me out in front of him, no screen, no nothing.
He gonna bust on you,
bro. He will pull right back up on me. Like, anyways,
I'm gonna say this though. What year was this?
This was I want to say 2012.
What was missing?
Yeah, October 2012 and 2012.
What was missing?
What do you mean what was missing?
Think of the year. What was missing?
You're gonna have to tell me, bro.
Cell phone cameras in everybody's hands.
Oh, yo, that's facts. That's facts.
You see how much of a difference it makes?
Yeah, that's absolutely
if
facts.
That wasn't what you said 2012?
Yep, 2012.
10 years ago. If that was 2022, it would have been on a camera, guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been no question.
Facts.
But that long ago, no cameras in nobody's hands at that moment. It's all whoever the luck of the draw that runs up on you, whatever they think about you is gonna be what it is. Because
yeah,
and
bro.
it's crazy to think about how different.
Bro.
Yeah, how it's crazy if you went through that today, if you went through that then, how much different would have been. And at the same time, without that, today they'll still think the same thing. They'll probably do the exact same thing without that footage. But you're more likely to have that footage today than you are 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Facts. And again, bro, this is all happening, bro. I remember like while it was happening, while I'm waiting at the bank, they're doing the investigation. I had class that night. So I emailed my teacher, had to explain to him, like, yo, this is the situation, right? So basically, class is canceled. I go to the store, basically to grab some stuff, and then I was headed to Ricky's crib, Lester. Ricky's a guy that we both grew up with, and we go up. I'm going there telling him the story about what the hell just happened today. We chilling, we smoking a J. We never watched the news. We always playing a game, making music, whatever. We're never like watching TV at his crib. But for that day, for whatever reason, we're watching the news. We're smoking and talking. All of a sudden, doom, 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 breaking news. And they show this picture of me getting robbed.
Wow.
And I'm like, what just happened? Like,
tell me the Summer Jam script?
That's the stuff that only happens when you high, bro.
Bro. And like when I tell you, that's when it all hit me. Like, because I'm very like calm and mellow.
It all hits you like that's so Raven.
Yo, legit. I was like, yo, like what the hell just happened? Because until then, it was just a crazy day. But once I saw it like that, I'm like, yo,
that's wild.
What a freak. Like, bro, I literally got up and threw up, bro. Because it just like literally like everything hit me at once. I'm high as hell. And I was like, bro, this is crazy right now.
But you know that it's crazy because I'm like a reality show junkie. Yo, you see people when they go through shit until they watch themselves go through shit, you get that feeling like
facts.
Wow.
It's crazy, though. That experience, bro, really like it didn't affect me like in the moment as far as like how I realized everything that was happening. Yeah, but like as a black man now looking back, bro, that really opened my eyes to a lot.
Yeah. Bro, it's so crazy because like that's that kind of thing. Like that's the kind of thing like any other person that would scar them for life, bro. Like they might just end up in like the basement of grandma's crib for the rest of their life.
Just scared as hell.
Like, yeah, man, I got robbed at Wells Fargo when I was 20. This world is not for me.
That is called past trauma.
Story. Yeah, it's always a random story that people don't even believe. Like I literally have to share that article every time I tell the story.
That's crazy.
People don't believe it, bro.
Like, and like I said, I've been a Wells Fargo customer for years when it was watch over you, and they got bought out. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm 100% sure I heard that story and never knew it was you. That's insane.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's crazy, dog. Cause like, it's just so funny too. Cause I think I mentioned it on the pod before. Also, I remember one time me and Quincy was chilling, and we was just talking about like something came up about Wentworth, and we were just telling stories. And his fiance was just like her jaw was hitting the floor the whole time. Like she's like, I didn't even know things like this happen in real life.
Yeah.
Never lived in a neighborhood where these things happen.
Facts. Yo, it's crazy.
That was crazy. River Reach.
Oh, River Reach. That was the cousin. That was a distant cousin of Wentworth.
You know what I'm saying? That's exactly. If you know Wentworth, you know River Reach.
My bad. Real quick, I forgot a fatal detail.
Oh,
one
my
fatal
God.
detail. One fatal detail. So, bam. So, a couple of weeks goes by, and basically when I started with two other girls, like at the same time. Like we got trained together, we started together, and a couple weeks go by, and one of the girls basically just fell off the face of the earth. Like she stopped working, whatever. And
after that whole thing happened, or before it?
After, basically after it happened. So then, after like 2 or 3 weeks, we have like a drawer in Wells Fargo that every day we take out that has like basically like $20K. and that's what we used throughout the day, and we counted at the end, and whatever. So after like 2 weeks, they was like, yo, she's not coming back. So they searched her drawer. Her drawer was missing like $15,000. And then about a month later, come to find out, bro, she was the mastermind behind the whole robbery.
Wow.
She coordinated everything. She told the guy to go to that guy. He's new. You know what I'm saying? Like, she literally masterminded
And
everything.
she was talking about you.
Yes. So I was the target.
No
like,
Okay, and was
way.
she there? And was she one of the ones that act like she ain't see it?
Well, she wasn't there when it happened.
Oh, okay,
She
bad,
wasn't
bad.
there when it happened. And then after
it
it
was on
happened,
some
she
the
fell
town
off.
shit.
Yeah, bro, it was crazy. So yeah, that's
Dang.
like the full story from start to finish, bro. Like it happened a month and a half, 2 months later is when we found out that she was involved.
Yo, that's wild.
Yeah,
You probably you 20, so you probably like, dog, I got a job at the bank. I'm set, bro.
right. You
At that
know
point,
me coming from like the lowest
let me
job,
tell you
fast
this.
food.
Did you interact with her at all during the training or anything like that before the day came to it?
Yeah. I mean, we talked periodically.
No suspicion?
But I would have never known.
That's what I wanted to
I
get.
would have never known, bro.
Yeah. No suspicion.
So did you speak to her after it happened, but before you knew it was her?
No.
Ooh,
No?
wow.
She disappeared. She disappeared.
Yeah.
Like basically after it happened
was
is
it.
when she apparently had something happen with her grandma and was like, she never came back.
Dang.
Rogue
so
One.
she even had the story like for
Yeah.
after the man.
Yeah, bro. It was crazy.
Yo, that's wild, dog.
Yeah.
That is wild.
How did the company react to that? Any compensation? What like is I never think of
You gotta make a
you
fuss.
see
That's
no,
what
but
it
you
is.
see all these but you see all these bank robbery on movies, TV shows, all this shit. Like, what is the bank? Does the bank do anything for you after
Bruh.
you were the teller that got robbed?
All they offered me was like, it's not. All they offered me was like EAP services, but no, nothing, no days
What's that
off,
mean?
no nothing. But it was like
Basically, like, you want to see a shrink, bro?
Here's a phone number.
Wow, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
I would think you got broke off or something, but nothing.
Nothing, bro.
That's crazy.
Nothing. It's crazy, dog.
Yo, that's a pretty wild story, bro.
Yeah.
Hard left. Let's get into this Bad Bunny topic, my friend.
All right. So how did it start?
I don't remember.
We're gonna start doing some album review segments, but we're really gonna get down to certain aspects of the music, right?
Okay, yeah.
So we're discussing the type of albums we're gonna dissect, and we're throwing it out there, and different artists, different vibes, different things. And I got down to Bad Bunny, and then I get a reaction from Lester that I did not expect as an artist. And so go ahead, Lester, just go with your reaction when I said, how do you feel about a Bad Bunny review?
So to kind of bring it back, like how you were saying, when I think about us reviewing albums, I think about a couple different factors. I think about something that you can digest in one sitting. You know, if you're doing a task or something, you know, maybe you cutting the grass, you know, maybe you washing your car or whatever. It's something that you could play from beginning to end. That's super dope. It's something that has, like, for me, you know what I mean? I need that content. You know what I mean? Like, I need some lyrics in there that's gonna hit.
That's your assessment. That's how you assess an album.
Exactly. Like, that's as far as an album goes, that's my expectation of it. And just the way I consume music, because that's one of the things is, like, the type of music Bad Bunny makes, that's not my type of music. Like, I know that he's super dope, and I like his voice. I like the way that he kind of uses his voice. It's like a dope way of singing, where it's like, I don't know, like when I first heard him, I really liked his sound. It was just different, and just the way that he says his like punchlines and stuff. It's he makes it sound like cool, like somebody I could kind of compare it to in English, like a melodic Fabulous or something. You know what I mean? Like he got like the little lines and stuff.
Fabulous
You know
can't
what I mean?
sell out stadiums.
No. I'm definitely not saying artist wise like they're on the same. I'm just saying artistically speaking.
And I don't want to debate. I just want to make sure you take
No.
in there. and that's perfect. I want to hear your
Yeah,
your
I'm just
addition
talking
to that.
specifically from artistically speaking.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like that's kind of how I equate him. Like somebody that's dope with the wordplay and everything, but he's just on a different level with it. But it's not the type of music that I enjoy listening to. One of the things about it too is like it's funny, but like it's super vulgar, and I'm not into that. Like in certain types of music, you know what I mean? Like
Okay, yeah, I got
when
that.
I
I got
listen
that.
to Bad Bunny type of record and like the super OD, you know, like he's Puerto Rican, I'm Puerto Rican. I know exactly what he's saying when he's saying the things
Yeah.
he's saying. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's disgusting, bro.
And
Like
I'm gonna tell you, you know what's crazy? The Yonaguni track, which is like a Japanese style track, and he raps in Japanese at the end, and he spits like he repeats a couple lyrics. And I got a friend who knows a friend who's like knows Japanese. Like, yo, as homeboy, what he's saying, and he's like pretty much saying, "I just want to fuck you over and over again." And I was like, wow, I thought
yeah.
it was some super fly shit. Like, I'm never gonna use that.
Yeah, like
Yeah, so I feel you on there.
when I look at Bad Bunny overall, he has a lot of dope songs that do hit the criteria, you know what I mean? But this
Okay.
album that he dropped for me, it's like I understand why it's doing what it's doing, but it ain't it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like
But Grammy nominated, first Latin ever,
super dope.
ever as album of the year, ever. That's not luck. That's not the team. That's strictly the artist right there. That's how I feel. Do you not agree with that? Whether you favor him or not, do you not agree that his artistry is main reason? It's not the team. It's not nothing but him.
Nah, I completely disagree because he signed a crazy deal a few years ago, and the type of money, like the positioning that he has on the label,
Mhm.
he's positioned like Drake. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So he's gonna get those nods. He's gonna be at those things. Of course, you can't just
No,
slap that on any artist and they're just gonna go that far with it.
but he's
It
also
had to be
worked with
him
everybody, everybody. He was in Shakira in the Super Bowl. He was on a Drake track. Kanye mentioned him that's his inspiration when,
that's
and
label
not even
work.
to get to, you know what I'm saying? Like he said, Kanye said, Bad Bunny's on the wall when we're creating.
That's
He's our
label work.
inspiration.
That's label work.
Label. That's all. You think that's all label work? But
That's all
how he
label
can
work.
make a song with every single artist in the Spanish
That's him.
industry,
That's him. When they get in
every
the
single
studio, it's
artist.
him. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
When he gets on stage, it's him.
there
When
we
it's
go.
time to create, it's him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But he's just built for
Okay.
what they doing for him. You know what
Okay.
I mean?
Yeah. So they're favoring him, and he's getting more favoritism that gets him to that level because of how good he is.
For
But
sure.
okay.
And
Okay.
it also comes down to the label that he's on. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like that's something that like people when you're a fan of an artist or when you're a fan of somebody, you don't really think about the record label that they're on because it's not something that really matters to you and it doesn't reflect to you in the music. But the record label that they're on, which is like because there's always like little record labels, like artist start labels, producers start labels, you know, anybody can start a label, but they always started under like the branch of like a bigger record label. You know what I mean? And hold on one sec, because I'm actually gonna pull it up right now.
Quincy, you never listen to any kind of other music that doesn't have words or that has a different language?
I mean, I don't really look for it, but I do enjoy certain songs for sure. Like,
You ever been in a spot and they played a Bad Bunny track and you vibe to it? Don't lie.
no, I have. I just don't. I haven't. Like, that's why I'm not even partaking in this conversation because, like, I sit with Lester on the lyric side,
Yeah.
and I don't understand what he's saying, so I can't.
No, but I want to say that if regardless of the fan or the person or the favorite like favorite genre of music, if
Mhm.
you're in a spot you having a good time and he comes on, you're vibing with everybody else who's there with you.
As an artist, I can say that sonically he's dope as hell. Like he sounds good.
Okay,
You know
I'll
what I'm
take
saying? Like
that. I'll
so
take
that's
that.
that's what
I'll
I'm
take
saying. Like
that.
I enjoy what I hear. I just don't
Yeah.
know what I'm hearing. So
But that's why he has to be good enough to transcend that
exactly.
barrier
Of course.
where it doesn't matter if you understand what he's saying, you're still vibing to it with
Exactly.
everybody else around you. You feel that energy that he put in that production.
For
No,
sure.
for sure. That's what I was saying. Like, you could put me in that situation and I'm not gonna do what Bad Bunny did, not even close. You know what I mean? Because you got to have a certain kind of energy, you got to have a certain kind of motivation. Like it's a different motivation. You know what I mean? There's a lot of like we've talked about before, even like there's a lot of artists that don't really aspire to have that kind of success. You know what I mean? And I don't know the particulars of his deal, but a lot of times to get that kind of exposure, you most of the time have to not own your music, because it's like, why are we going to give you that kind of exposure and put that kind of money into you when you're
Yeah.
going to be getting 80% or 70% of the pie, when they're going to have all these moving parts around you? How are they going to justify putting you in that position if they ain't making a big chunk of that money back?
Hey, but and it's crazy, like, and just going to he was in that Bullet Train movie, he was in WrestleMania, like he
But
just
again, that's going back to that's the point. That's a lot of the label moves. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I
That's
get
label
you.
moves. So it's like, you know,
Yeah,
that to me is what
look at the draw.
being a good artist and having a good label gets you. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not gonna do that for somebody that they don't feel can sonically put them, you know, make sense for them. You get what I'm saying? Sonically, it makes sense to do it with him. That's why, like I said, I can hear it and say that's great music. But that's really as far as it goes with that.
And that's also it. It may be the type of artist he is, and I consider him humble. Like I don't see him flashing and living like a flashy lifestyle. So he might have sacrificed a lot for that label support that a lot of artists probably equally at his level may not have wanted to sacrifice because they just wanted to get paid and own their shit instead. And so maybe like, you know, maybe because of who he is, he became more successful because he had to give all that shit up just for them to push his shit like that.
And that's something that even they say, I don't think he's actually said it himself, but a lot of people that have been around him say that Kanye, he's so about the music that a lot of times he don't care how much he has to give up in royalties to like use a sample or to get an artist on a song, because he just wants to hear it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He don't care what it costs. He just knows that that's the best way he can put that song together, and he needs to put it out that way.
Yeah, that's one. I think I got exactly what I was expecting to hear out of you, both of y'all. Honestly, it was just that there's not a lot of artists who can make you listen to it and enjoy it, regardless of what you know what they're saying or feel what they're saying. And when you're in that element, you're gonna vibe to it. And there's not a lot of artists who can do that. And the fact that he's done that in so many different genres with so many different artists, and he's done it so good in the way that they do it, it's just, to me, I was like, that can't go unrecognized. But if you don't favor it, boom, that's no issue right there. But I was just wanted to talk about that.
I look at it like this, like I when I first heard of Bad Bunny, like my cousin put me on to him. Shout out to my cousin Galdi. He put me on very early, and he showed me the video. And he's like, yo, this guy is like blowing up in Puerto Rico, and he's about to go crazy and be like the next big thing. He called it like early. And that always made me pay attention to him, because you know my cousin likes dope music. So I'm a fan of him. Like listening to him throughout the years, he always had super dope stuff, and I know that he can do it when it's like just him creating. You know what I mean? But it's like there's an aspect to that music where it's made for what you're talking about, like the Grammys and you know rubbing elbows with Shakira and all that stuff. Like they're, you know, that's all kind of like tailored for that audience, for that crowd, for those moves. You know what I mean? It's kind of like what Pitbull did. You know what I'm saying? Like he did the music that he wanted to make.
I can't.
No, it's the same. It's literally the same exact thing.
No, because and I want to finish on Bad Bunny, but he toured with no albums. He toured with no albums, just off features alone. Then he had the Por Siempre that dropped, which is like his trap album. And then he had the duo with J Balvin, which I had the vinyl, and I'm gonna bring it out on a vinyl review. And they had two fire songs there, La Canción and No Me Conoces. Fire, like broke the charts. Then he had the yellow mixtape, I forgot what it called. and he dropped it like a mixtape, like a hip hop artist would drop a mixtape. It was those kind of tracks, like mixtape track. And then he dropped the B side of the mixtape, and then he sold out the tour, and then he dropped the album for the tour he sold out before anybody even listened to it, and they called it the last tour of the world. And then he dropped The Summer Without You, Mira No Sentí. It's just like he has not missed yet, and there
I agree
hasn't
with
been an
everything you're
artist who has
saying,
not missed.
but the album that he just dropped right now is Pitbull with the Suit. He's taking that turn.
No, but he literally, the production is 100% like Dominican, and like the drums, and like not even Dominican, just Caribbean, like just like a different kind of album that he produced. And this is the first one he's produced of this kind, with these kind of drum patterns and instruments and flows and merengue. He got the merengue in it. Like it's just different. I feel like he does that with every album. He puts projects together.
But this one is hitting universally, right? What is Pitbull? What did Pitbull turn into? Mr. Worldwide. Why was he Mr. Worldwide?
Yeah, but he said 1,
Because
2, 3, 4.
But his
But that
music,
translates.
but the music that he did was the type of music that everybody could vibe to. If you throw that on at any party, whatever, people dancing, people vibing, it's the same. It's a different type of music, but it's the same idea.
Yep. Agreed. I do agree with that one.
I think we're at where we're at.
I think we reached a stalemate here.
No, I definitely agree with everything you're saying, but
I can never compare him to Pitbull. There's no way.
Yeah, but you're getting caught in the semantics of it. I'm not comparing them as artists or saying that they got the same amount of talent or that they're both singers. Any of that. I'm just saying the turn in their career that they're taking. He's at that same point that Pitbull was.
Yeah,
when he started dropping all that.
He performed at the Peruvian National Stadium, and every single person in Peru knew every single word to his music. And it's just crazy. And like that, for a country like that, for him to sell in a country like that when they don't really got money to pay for concerts like that, I don't know what else to say. I don't name someone else other than Michael Jackson, the Beatles, who do shit like that.
He might go down in that who knows, in like 20-30 years, like once time has passed, he's gonna be in that conversation of greatest artists because of the kind of numbers.
Jay-Z ain't do what he did yet. Jay-Z has not done that. No, nobody has done that, especially as a Latin artist. It's just I don't think it's a fluke. I don't think it's a team. I think it's one of a kind, one in a generation kind of artist for the Latin community, and then transcending wherever he goes. And that's why he made a whole Japanese title song where he's spitting Japanese at the end of it. He knows where he's going with it. He knows what he's doing. He knows who listens to him. And that takes talent. I know it takes a team too, but it takes a little extra talent from the artist. That's what I was getting at.
I see what you're saying, but this is kind of like how some people do, where like they'll make the argument that Jay-Z is the best rapper because he's the most successful or he has the most money. Like that has nothing to do. Like all the stuff that you're saying, it's dope, and nobody's gonna do it. And it even applies to Michael Jackson. All those things that you say about Michael Jackson, it still don't make him the best artist to everybody just because those accolades.
What about to you though?
His music is universal. No, Michael Jackson to me is one of my favorite artists.
To me too, because I put all that shit. I put all that shit together, all of it.
But there's a lot of artists that are higher selling. Like I don't enjoy Eminem. Eminem is the highest selling rapper of all time. Nelly's what, the second or third? I don't know by now, but I know he was like second or third before. I didn't listen to Nelly. You know what I'm saying? Like just because you got the numbers don't mean that there's something that I'm gonna ride to.
Yeah. Just real quick, how do you feel like Chris Brown? I keep saying the MJ over a generation as far as that whole embodiment of an artist. Now considering what Bad Bunny does, because Chris Brown can do that. He doesn't choose to.
I think he has a talent. I feel like Chris Brown.
My bad. I'm just gonna say one quick thing.
Yeah,
Chris Brown was on the way there until that incident happened.
That's exactly
he had all that crazy stuff going. But go ahead.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Literally to the T, because I think that Chris Brown would have been at that level. He just has so many people committed to hating him that no matter how good his music is, it only will go so far because there's so many people that no matter how good the music is, they won't go to a Chris Brown concert. They won't say in public that they like Chris Brown's music. They might listen to it quietly in a room, the same way people do about R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? But because of that incident, that really took him off track. But I agree.
Yeah,
I think
that's
he was on that way.
It's just,
and that kind of goes along with what I was saying about Bad Bunny. Like, it definitely takes a once in a lifetime talent to line up all those things to get to that point, which is the same thing about Michael Jackson. He was the once in a lifetime artist that was able to line up everything
and be that good,
and just be about it so much that he was just going to give his life to it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't discount that angle of it, but all those details don't equate to this music is amazing or timeless. You know what I mean? Like, all that stuff goes out the window when I listen to the music. And if I listen to the music and it's whatever, it's whatever.
Yeah, I'll take that.
It's one of those things that it's like, I don't know. For me, for my taste, when I hear it, I know it's not something that I'm gonna be like going back to all the time. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be like, that's just gonna be a part of my listening habits. Like, it's just gonna, you know.
And just for the record, I'm not even capping or caping. Literally everybody in my life, nobody fucks, not even my wife. My boy Juan is the only person who fucks with like me, and nobody else cares. But I just hear different. That's why I was like, maybe these guys will hear it like me, and you heard it like me, and that's it. You heard it like me, but you don't fuck with it. That's good. That's it.
And the funny thing is, everything you were saying before, I was with you up until this one. You know what I mean? And it's not to say that this one's bad. I'm just saying, like, all the stuff that's going on around that album, it makes sense because that's what it sounds like to me. And that's not necessarily a good thing. You know what I mean?
There you.
I'm out of the loop with everything that's going on. I'll just say that. But
honestly, bro, it's just like he made like a more like commercial type of album. You know what I mean? He's going for that, like, you know, kind of the same thing Don Omar did. You know what I mean? Like, he started adding like these other production elements to kind of tap into a whole new crowd, and it opened him up to so many other people, and he just became one of those bigger than life international artists just because he said, yo, let me tap into this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, and none of it, it might sound like I'm saying that it's like a bad thing or something. Like, I'm not saying that at all. Like, it's just, it's one way of going at it that when to my ears, it doesn't resonate. You know what I mean? Like, whenever I hear that that's the angle somebody's going, it's not that I look down on it, because like, it's something that I heard on Comedians in Cars. Matter of fact, I think it was Jimmy Fallon was talking about when he interviews people, like how he can kind of like be cool with everybody. And he's like, well, the way I look at it, like when somebody's coming to promote a movie, it takes the same amount of time to make a bad movie that it takes to make a good one. Like, you know, the grind and the struggle and the work that they put in to make that piece of work. If it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't take away from the fact that they worked hard and this is a talented person. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's something that a lot of artists have an issue with. They're very sensitive and very close to hearing other people's point of views and not understanding, like, even yourself, like me as an artist, I'm super picky with who I listen to and what I you know, what I add into my library and stuff like that. So I understand that there's people out there like me that they might just listen to 5 artists and that's it. And they might give a couple people a chance, but it's really hard to break into that inner circle of like the artists that they mess with. You know what I mean? And it's like I always say about music, it's like a never ending journey. Like, you're trying to figure out everything you can do to crack into everybody's like a field of music. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be able to fit in everybody's bubble, you know, with your music. You want it to be able to hit everybody.
Yeah.
And that's what people like Bad Bunny are doing. That's what people like Pitbull did. That's what people like Michael Jackson did. You know what I mean?
Drake just did it with Honestly Nevermind.
Yep, that's what Drake did. You know what I mean? He gave us like a different vibe because he was tapping into a different crowd. You know what I mean? He's like, let me dominate this area too. You know what I mean? And then your music, and same with Bad Bunny. You got people that'll say, "Oh, I only listen to the trap Bad Bunny." You got other people that say, "Oh, I like the love song, and I like the love songs, and oh, I like the dance music, or I like the perreo." You know what I mean? Like everybody like different vibes of it. Somebody might not like all of them, like you like all the vibes that he's dropping, but he has people that like at least one of the vibes. You know what I mean? And that's like the top goal as an artist. So that goes back like what I was saying, like it's definitely not a bad thing, but it's just not my cup of tea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's actually like a nice little spot to wrap it up, because today is I'm gonna actually date this episode just because it's a landmark day. You heard me? So today is Wednesday, November 16th, 2022, and that new Warzone just dropped.
Your beard.
We're about to go hit the Warzone.
You feel me?
And then drop a review of that ASAP. Just, you know, not a review of a first time reaction. You know what I mean? Because obviously we're not gonna be playing like crazy. We're just gonna run a couple games, see what it feel like, and then hit y'all with the review. My bad, the first time reaction. But like I said, and like Joe was saying, we got a lot of dope content coming. We're gonna be hitting more stuff on the feed. Y'all let us know what kind of stuff y'all enjoy. Anybody that's trying to be on the show that has something, you know, you hear the show, you know what we doing, you know the vibe. Be mindful of all that if you hit us up. All right,
sir.
Because I'm not gonna just put you on. Quincy's not just gonna put you on. Joe's not just gonna put you on. You know, there's a process to this. There's a message in this, and everything that you're gonna see coming from the channel is gonna have that vibe. It's gonna have that spirit in mind, and it's gonna be something for everybody in there. So make sure y'all tap in, and we gonna be right back. Matter of fact, after these messages, aka these servers, that's gonna be hella laggy.
Stay grounded.